where are we kind of at with sort of the evolution of these types of models and the operationalizing of them, and what are still the current limitations to them? Like when did they start adding value, and what are the limitations before that can kick in?
Great question. I do think there are limitations. I'm not suggesting that MMMs are perfect by any sense. I think MMMs have come a long way in that you can update them more frequently. You can often use less data. It really depends on the way that it's modeled, the way that it's put together. But if you think of like your granddaddy's MMM, right? I took 2 or 3 years worth of data. It took a year to build, and it was primarily for big CPGs that had to wait for a lot of data to come in. It often was delayed by months or quarters before they could even do it. And it was more of a retrospective thing. A lot of the modern ones are more forward-looking. They're more predictive. They use basically a type of methodology that you can calibrate with, incrementality results or other types of, say, known outcomes that you can plug into them and calibrate them. And so they definitely have come a long way. But the reality of it is, even like the measurement style that I described, it's got its blind spots, and it's sort of like lack of perfection, right? What I suggest, and sort of my perspective on it, is that you still have the same blind spots and tacks if you don't use that, and if you use something more granular. It's just different. And so I would my assumption and sort of my position is that the trade-offs of using a scientific based incrementality plus attribution combined has less extreme trade-offs and less extreme of a measurement tax, if you will, than staying in the old school way. And I just think people are so used to that they haven't quite grokked that, and they'd rather be able to see the data right away, be able to act on it right away, and be able to see like a single tangible number that they can rate as either good or bad, versus maybe adding fuzziness around all that, but being a lot more accurate in terms of the ROI. And so that's really like, in terms of a mental model, what marketers need to get there. And not just marketers, by the way, but CFOs that are putting budgets on, that are looking at reports for marketing and UA and saying, well, I don't understand these like distributions and confidence intervals and all of that. And so there is I think a broader education that's required. But to your point, it's not perfect. There are fuzziness around it, and it's just a matter of understanding what that is and what type of fuzziness do you prefer.